Okay, so we're here on the farm of Conor O'Sullivan. He farms here with his parents. So, Conor, I suppose, can you tell us a bit about your farm here, please?
Yeah, we farm around 200 acres here in outside Banch there in Tipperary. Farm here with my father and my mother, and we were a predominantly Holstein Friesian herd until about 8 or 9 years ago. We first started crossing Norwegian Reds. We mainly started crossing because we had big issues with empty rates and cows not getting in calf or getting in calf late in the year, and feet was a big issue, and we didn't want to go down the Jersey route either because we were worried about cull cows and getting rid of calves or selling male calves and that, and so we looked at a farm down in I think it was outside Glanworth or that in Fermoy, Dunn farmer. I think yeah. He's a lot of Norwegian Red cows, and we were very impressed, and we decided we'd go crossbreeding. So we started there about 8 years ago, and we found we were very happy with the results. The empty rate was before we started crossbreeding was always in the high teens and sometimes reached 20%, and that's been halved consistently, if not gone down to single digits. And the calving interval has gone way down as well, and everything's a lot more compact. As regards the cows themselves, I find the difference with the Norwegian Red cows, I don't find like with the Holstein Friesian, you'll get some cows producing huge amounts of milk. You know, you'll be hitting peak at 40 litres a day and that. Yeah. Whereas I don't find that with the Norwegian Reds. They're more of a consistent 30 odd litres at peak, which I'm okay with because they give a lot less problems in terms of feet and going back in calf. And I think the big advantage in Norwegian Reds there is the replacement rate. I find has gone way down. And even with retention of heifers, you know, first calvers, we used to lose an awful amount of first calvers in the first year, whereas that's gone way down now.
Temperament is okay.
Temperament has been very good, unbelievably docile. They're a pleasure to milk. Our cell count, well, now it's probably unfair to only put it down to the Norwegian Reds, but we also installed a cluster cleanse, which put our cell count. Our mastitis used to be a huge issue. Not anymore. We've really got on top of that now. A lot of that, I say, is down to the cluster cleanse, probably a bit of both.
Yeah, sure. Genetics has a big part to play in that too.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
The breed is bred for super udder health too, and that is coming true.
Yeah, we find we're very happy with terms of health. Then the cows themselves, I'm kind of aiming for a maintenance of around 12 or 13. Okay. Kind of about a 580 kilo cow or thereabouts. Someone that'll basically a cow that won't cause me much hassle, you know, and will deliver around 500 kilos of solids on a good year.
So in terms of herd performance, to say last year, how did you get on?
Yeah, well, so we actually dried off the cows at the end of November, so it was because I was gone away on honeymoon, but so we missed the last month of milk, but the cows did 462. The average 462 kilos of fat and protein, 4.27% fat and 3.53% protein, which is actually pretty good for us because historically we've always struggled with getting our protein. We always had low protein. Actually, it was probably one of our biggest flaws. So I've been breeding towards getting higher proteins, but yeah, I'm happy to see it at that now. That's one of our best years, to be honest. And then our average cell count was 103. Our DBI is 206. So yeah, so we find that we are like that 6-week calving rate before we started breeding, before we started crossbreeding, would have been half that nearly. Well, yeah, you know, you would have been. We used to do 6 weeks of AI and struggle to make 6 weeks of just area AI and struggle to make. You know, enough replacement heifers of our own, so we'd have sometimes have to buy them in. Whereas now, I started synchronising the maiden heifers with sex semen, and say for the first few years I was crossbreeding, I used to use around 800, 180 dairy straws, and now I only use 60 or 70, which is
That's a big difference. On
big difference there. Yeah, it is great. You know, you're able to shift calves nice and early because you have a great quality calf. In fact, the same man usually buys, I'd say, about 3/4 of the calves for me, and he'd nearly prefer to see more Norwegian Red calves because they go for nearly the same price, but he finds them very good for he finds he makes the most money off them
for
actually.
beef, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So say in terms of your breeding strategy, as in
Going forward.
as in how do you select your cows, or do you do anything in particular, or is it in breeding?
Well, in terms of breed, so as I said, I do most of the replacements are actually from the heifers themselves.
Okay.
And then I pick the cows with the highest protein for breeding replacements, you know, of the main herd, and then obviously any cow that is has any issue or whatever, she's definitely not going to be bred. And I'm pretty selective in what cows I give a dairy straw to. They're nearly all beef, to be honest.
Okay, and you go over and back every second generation with black and white Norwegian?
Well, we have everything, pretty much everything in the herd. About 90% of the herd is either has a sire or grandsire Norwegian Red. And to be honest, I just followed I picked my bulls at the start of the year and I put it into ICBF, and I just go on the suggested mating that the AI generates, more or less.
Okay, and you use all sex semen on the heifers, was it?
All sex semen on the heifers, and then they're let off with Angus bulls. And
okay, so a nice compact bunch then for the
find it really good now.
Okay.
We got super results with it. Last year was my first year doing fully the whole herd. We do it in 2 batches, you know. Do half on the 3rd of May and half on the 7th of May.
Okay.
And I find they calve around then they normally calve about a week before they're actually expected to calve.
Pretty short gestation, so.
Well, yeah, I suppose between nearly all dairy bulls have short gestation, and so with the mothers really.
And actually, any problem calving, say, with heifers or?
No, very few problems now. But I suppose when they're calving down dairy, like, you know, dairy bulls, like, you know, it is easier than if they're calving you know, a Hereford or something like that.
Yeah, for sure it's a help if I suppose the sex semen and Norwegian Red.
Yeah.
It's a Herefords, usually that's slight bit easier too,
Yeah.
in fairness.
Yeah, you still have the odd one, but
Yeah, with everything.
generally speaking, we're quite happy with that.
And say in terms of the bulls you've used previously, as in, say, what's the background to the herd here currently?
So in terms of Norwegian Red bulls,
Yeah, what sires did you use previously?
well, yeah, we used a lot of at the beginning. We used a lot of ZBR and EKE, and then we used a bit of NR or right hand too.
Oh, right, yeah.
And now we're moving more into Croval.
He's a daughter-proven bull available, yeah.
Yeah, and actually don't know the other ones now that I've used this year off the top of my head, but yeah, it is.
And say for your bull selection this year, 2025, any of these, what are you looking for, I suppose? Is it continuing looking for protein or anything in particular?
Yeah, well, as I said, I'm trying to keep the maintenance kind of at the 12, around the 12 mark, to try and keep the cows the similar size, and then yeah, it would be protein, positive in health, positive in management, positive in milk. They kind of need to be. I'm not looking for real outliers, you know. It's kind of just positive on a number of different headings.
Okay, so Conor, can you tell us what bulls you used in the last few years, and maybe what you're thinking to go and using in the coming year?
Yeah, so as I said, when we started off there 8 years ago, it was nearly all EKE and ZBR, which were 2 daughter-proven bulls at the time, and we were very happy with them. And then we've been using Croval, and this year I think we used a bit of Skye and Rowan.
Okay.
And just looking at this year's catalogue, then I think that will Hallinger and RBP will probably come into the mix. Just actually talking to you was a bit of a help there, actually, because I was talking to you about how I wanted a consistent maintenance, even though the maintenance on the EBI would have ruled out, for example, an RBP. When you look on the total merit index for the the actual Norwegian, what the Norwegians use, you can see his stature is 107, which would be kind of what I'd be looking for.
Yeah.
And that's probably how I got cut out with one or two bulls over the years that I found the cow's been a bit bigger.
Okay.
Than I initially thought they would, or a bit smaller. So
Yeah.
I'll definitely be using the TMI index in future. For
the country of origin is the most accurate for Norwegian Red. Obviously, EBI is a very good conversion, but if you want to go a step further, definitely, if you're going,
I know
that it should be that bit better.
That's handy to know there, yeah.
Yeah, and in fairness, your herd is so consistent. Looking around, you'd love to see that continuing too, if that's the cow you're looking for.
It is, yeah, and it's nice to get the odd red one as well. You know, a lot of people, I suppose, would expect to have all their cows red with a cross. You know, maybe you get about 1 in 10 red calves, maybe less.
Okay.
But I find now that if you get a red cow, and for example it's week 4 or 5, or you just don't want to breed her with a dairy bull, if you ever put a Hereford straw or a Limousine straw on her, or any cow or any bull that would have a red gene, you're almost guaranteed a red calf, which normally gives you quite a good price in the market. And it's nice to look at a red calf too, to be honest.
Actually, out of curiosity, on the beef side, what bulls or breeds do you usually go for?
We use a good bit of. I like to mix it up because I like looking at a good few different types of calves. So we've a good bit of Angus. I've tried a good bit of red Angus the last year, and the last 2 years. I actually haven't got a red Angus, an actual Angus to come red yet. So still waiting on one of those. Good bit of Hereford, some Limousine, some Belgian Blue, good bit of Speckled Park actually.
Okay.
The odd funny one like what I started doing the last few years is I normally would start breeding on the maybe 27th or 28th of April. Okay. But I find that if I see a cow come bulling maybe the 23rd, 24th, 25th, I normally have a few long gestation bulls picked out so that she will actually come at the same time as the rest of the herd. So then that's either the odd Charlie, the odd Cemental, and you could find a good few long gestation Herefords as well.
So you have a nice variety of beef sires being used.
Well, I use, to be honest, it's nice to get a bit of variety, not to be looking at black and whites the whole time. And
you say actually demand for those beef calves, as in looking at the cows in it, they're good, strong, hardy cows. So what's demand like for those?
Most of the calves are sold to a local man here. He's been very happy with the Norwegian Red bull calves, and then he buys a good bit of the beef calves off me too. And he gets first refusal on anything. If he has he normally takes maybe 10 a week, and if there's 2 more calves coming than that, I'll just sell the surplus in the mart, either in Tiptown or Care. And we've been getting really good prices for them, to be honest. Very, very happy with them. They get ad lib yogurt as well. So they basically feed themselves as much yogurt as they'll drink. And
interesting.
They're kind of glowing. So
as well. I'm sure your buyers appreciate that too. Your forecasts are done reasonably well.
Well, I suppose they normally gets a very good price for them anyway. So we're quite happy.
So look, Conor, thanks very much for showing us around your herd. Joe, I must compliment you and your family. It's a super herd of cows, and look, thanks for sharing your information with us.
No bother. Anyone?
Thank you.